But what do you think, Matt?
Well, I think that this segue is great to AEW because it's the discussion I had with Disco before about AEW and why I think what I've seen of them behind scenes and in front.
Okay, just so I know, do you work for AEW in any
Oh,
capacity?
No.
But you were
I've been behind the scenes of StarCast for All In, and
right.
I got to see these guys. I got to see how they worked, and I got to see their focus, and also I saw the fans, and I saw my son's reaction. My son's 17, and the business changes. Any business changes, and Disco not seeing these guys are cool is in a way what makes them cool. Like Orange Cassidy's not for me. The Young Bucks are not for me, but I can see that this is a different kind of wrestling that appeals to a new kind of fan. And I'm not so concerned with bringing in the casuals. I think it's more about them bringing in new fans. And
wait a second. I can't disagree with you more. How are they, bro? Wrestling is not bringing in new fans. And we have a 15-year model of them not bringing in new fans. The median age is going up every year, which means less new fans are coming in, and all the fans are the ones that are still, and they're just getting older.
Did you see the demos? Did you see the demos for the AEW show?
I did.
That's what I was just going to say.
So I'm not saying the fans are increasing. I'm saying I've seen indicators that it's going to happen with this particular group. Like
the younger fans.
This is where the people in the wrestling bubble are misinterpreting everything. The wrestling audience is literally in the it's a closed group. Okay, you're in a room. All the doors are locked. Okay, you're giving product to all these people. All right, some of them are going to watch all of it. Some of them are going to watch. But bro, that's the market that you're drawing off of. Wrestling is not doing anything right now to grow outside that, to get people outside that room. And I'm just seeing it. Bro, everybody's like, okay, this is how few people watch wrestling today. Okay, on Wednesday night, the Wrestling War started. 2.3 million people were watching the shows. Okay, that's a very, very low number for two shows. That's not a lot of people. Okay, and to put things into context, 2 million people were watching Impact back in 2011.
Yeah.
During a period of time, it was like, this company's nothing, it's everything, all that.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward years. My thing is that these guys, the way we're selling the wrestling business, okay, and this to me is the biggest problem, is selling this as art, selling this as a work, selling this as performance art. These guys are great performers. If the guys don't look the part and that's what you're selling, I don't care what they do. It's like I don't care what their match. I don't care. It's like you need to sell larger than life characters. Because a lot of people, bro, let me tell you something. There's not everybody cares about the matches. There's a large percentage of wrestling fans that, they'll engage in a match, but they just want to see who wins. They want to see what happens. They want to see the guys talk about it. Wrestling right now isn't really giving a lot of that to people. The whole thing is focused on, these guys are great, but watch their matches, these matches, this match. I'm like, guys, I said it before, and you can't argue with me. A 5-star match has never drawn a dime. All the dimes are drawn before the match starts. And you don't have a lot of guys out there. The process that it takes to draw the dimes, I don't see a lot of guys doing that and have a really skilled at it. There's not a lot of good talkers, and there's not a lot of guys that really have good facials and acting ability out there, and a lot of guys don't really sell that well. And those are things in the big picture professional wrestling that tell your stories to large mass audiences. And I think that collectively the wrestling business, there's a few guys that stand out. But there's not enough of guys to do that right now. To me, AEW is the outlier on that, and I know it's something you don't get. I get you don't get it because they are not larger than life. Because the wrestling business and society has changed. Kids today, right? Kids today don't want bullshit. They see through it. We're talking about kids who have had access to pornography their entire lives. This is a whole different set than we're used to. These kids see through adults that act a certain way. They want people that are accessible. They want people who are self-aware. They want people like them. You have people like Cody and the Bucks and Omega who embrace nerd culture, embrace who they are. Darby Allin embraces the skateboard culture. They're not pretending to be anything different. They're not pretending to be bigger than life. Like a Hulk Hogan right now wouldn't appeal to these kids. And you're right about the bubble. But to me, Russo had it wrong. Russo was always like, we want to catch the people while they're flipping channels. For me, it's always people told their friends.
dude, wrestling's kind of cool. There's this guy, Steve Austin, on TV now, and he's cool. There's this group called the NWO, and they're fucking running roughshod. You know, you should check this shit out. And I could almost bet money that's what's going to happen with this AEW, because they have tapped into something that's not for me. I'm 47. It's not for you. Even as a wrestling observer who has all this history, it's for the culture that exists right now. And that's what I saw. As soon as I saw it, I was like, boom, these kids got it. And
bro,
by the
Matt,
kids, I mean the Bucks and them.
So, Matt, let me tell you this. I think a couple things. We've got to also be aware of the fact that everything's more fractionalized. We don't have, there's so many more TV shows, so many channels. You don't have as many people watching. And we see that across the board, even in football, basketball, wrestling, everything. So there's one thing. Another thing, there's a whole bunch of new fans that are under 25 years old that have no clue what the fuck the Attitude Era was. So they have no point of reference. They just know what they're seeing now. Okay. Number 3, I have been in a room with Cody, with the Young Bucks, with Omega. I've spoken to them. They've wrestled with me in AAA. The passion, the love that they have for this is incredible. They get it. I'm a big fan of the Young Bucks because I think they're super creative and super entertaining. And they go out there and they kill it. I remember I brought them for a match where they did a run-in on the Lucha Brothers. Okay. So I had this feud with the Lucha Brothers where, I had basically discovered them, right? And so they turned their back on me and I was mad at them. And so I had the Young Bucks do an impromptu 5-minute match with them. Okay, bro, they did so many cool shit in those 5 minutes because they wanted the fans to be happy. There's so many wrestlers that just sometimes go through the motions. They don't want to, but they always give you that extra, So, and even just talking to them, they get it. They're like you said, there's a new fan base. They're catering to them. There's a fan base that WWE. Wait 1 second. There's a fan base that WWE alienated, and kind of by mistake made this new fan base, which has gone to AEW, and I think they're going to do well.